Aloha mai kako. My name is Mahealani, and for my presentation, I will be talking about the attack on Kamehameha School's admissions policy in Hawaii. This is led on by the conservative activist Edward Bloom. He is a part of a Student for Fair Admissions organization in Virginia. Here's a small news clip to explain what is going on and why this needs to be discussed.
Back at the islands, a national group is challenging the admissions policy at Kamehameha schools. Students for Fair Admissions, based in Arlington, Virginia, says it wants to end Kamehameha's, quote, unlawful admissions policy that gives preference to applicants with Native Hawaiian ancestry. The group created a website seeking comment from those who were denied admission, saying it will use the information to build a legal case. Kamehameha Schools says it's prepared to defend its policy and is confident that it aligns with the law. The Office of Hawaiian Affairs says it stands with the school, calling this campaign an attack on Native Hawaiians.
This is a private institution in the Kingdom of Hawaii. It was founded in 1887 by Princess Bernice Pauahi Bishop. She was the last remaining descent of King Kamehameha, which was the king who united all of the Hawaiian Islands. This school is funded from her estate established in her will. So this is not a government funded school. This was her dying wish to have Hawaiian children be immersed back into the culture and have the right to their own language, practices, and values that almost went extinct. So now this student organization in Virginia feels personally attacked and threatened by King Cam's admissions policy of needing to be of Hawaiian descent to attend this Hawaiian immersed school. And I think that this is such an interesting discussion because I have so many questions when I hear about this topic. But I think the number one question is, why does this matter to the people of Virginia? How does this concern them? And why are they trying to take something that is almost 6,000 miles away from Virginia, And I think my answer is because we are a part of an imperialistic tradition of constantly taking and taking, stealing, not giving back, but never ever having enough. And they're trying to take this minority of innocent kids, trying to keep their culture alive in an illegally occupied space that the colonizers already have taken, and they're trying to colonize even more, so we have nothing left. And that is because we are under this Western distortion of thinking that what we don't have is for us to just take. And that's why this discussion is not talked about really in the US, because we are just so immune to that kind of mindset. Last week, we talked a lot about colonialism, and we read a chapter basically explaining the higher power ethnic group controlling all of the other subgroups and enslaving them for generations and stripping them away of cultural identity and pride and knowledge. And this ties in to what I am discussing, because this school was based off of the fact that Hawaiians did not know how to be Hawaiian in Hawaii for so long because of colonization. Their language was made illegal. Their religion was converted into Christianity. Their history was attempted to be erased. And this school tries to dismantle all of those colonial systems that were brought over there thousands of years ago. I just think that it is very ironic the way that they are going about attacking King Cam's schools, because it continues to shine a light on the idea of a double standard and white privilege in America, where the Caucasian conservative male, who has been the main idea of the US since the beginning, gets to overlook all of the violent, oppressive history made to these smaller minorities, and they get to use reverse discrimination and victimize themselves because they still don't have everything. And this is where the problem lies. If it was about not having access to Hawaiian education and what is being taught in King Cam schools, there would not be a lawsuit. But it's about not being able to say that it's theirs. Because if they wanted to learn about Hawaiian history and that's the problem they had, they would just go to a Hawaiian immersion school where you learn the same exact things, Olelo Hawaii, Hawaiian history, and religion. And they accept any ethnicity, no matter what. But it's not about that. Because it's about control and possession, which is the two ideologies of a colonizer. And right now, Hawaiians still fight to stay Hawaiian in Hawaii. There are many King Kamehameha schools protests to keep the language, to keep our culture. When this should be a time of remembering and restoring, they are still fighting to be Hawaiians. And it's devastating. But this is not just Hawaii's story, because when we look back on activism, when we read about it in week 2, we saw protests from blacks for equal education as whites. We saw Native Americans protesting for their land back that was illegally stolen. It's all relative, and if we could see that and come together to share our similarities instead of blaming each other for our differences, we would come to justice, but we would also find unity. And for that majority group that has finally felt racially discriminated, maybe this is a time of reflection and asking questions of why their ancestors always attacked different groups and why it is a bad thing. And if they can come to terms with that and we could all come together, this world would be so much better. And I don't understand why it's so difficult. So the question I'm going to leave for you is that if we have all felt out of place and racially discriminated, then why have not we made it a priority to stop doing it to each other? Is it a political aspect? Is it a social aspect? Is it a power tactic? This is a question that could have many answers. So mahalo nui for listening, and I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say.